Ever wondered how a simple hedge knight and his squire managed to crisscross almost the entirety of Westeros? Today, we're grabbing our maps and charting the epic, often overlooked journey of Ser Duncan the Tall and Aegon Targaryen, better known as Dunk and Egg. Their travels weren't just random wanderings. They were a foundational education for a future king and a series of trials that forged one of the realm's greatest heroes. Let's trace the footsteps that shaped the future of the Seven Kingdoms. Our story begins not with glory, but in the ash and dust left behind by the tourney at Ashford Meadow. After the death of his master, Ser Arlen of Pennytree, Dunk, a newly minted knight, makes a fateful choice. Instead of seeking service with a random lord, he takes on a boy Egg as his squire. Little does he know this bald-headed, precocious kid is a prince of the blood. Their initial plan is simple: head to Dorne for the winter. But as we'll see, their plans rarely survive contact with reality. Leaving Ashford, they start moving southeast, a seemingly straightforward path. But their very first steps are a deviation from the expected. This initial journey eastward, through the vast expanse of the Reach, isn't just about getting from point A to B. Each stop, each inn, each ford they cross is a lesson for Egg in the lives of the common folk, an experience no Targaryen prince had ever had. These early, seemingly insignificant moments are the bedrock of their entire adventure. Their intended path to Dorne is quickly derailed. A chance encounter leads them to Standfast, the castle of Ser Eustace Asgrey. This detour pulls them northward, away from their sunny destination and deep into the heart of the Reach's internal politics. Here, in the shadow of a forgotten feud with Lady Rohan Webber of Coldmoat, Dunk and Egg get their first taste of how old wounds fester in Westeros. The conflict over a simple stream, the Chekai Water, escalates into a trial by combat, forcing Dunk to confront the harsh realities of a knight's duty. After the dramatic events at Coldmoat, their journey takes another sharp turn. Instead of resuming their southern course, they are pushed north into the sprawling, complex riverlands. This isn't a planned leg of their journey. It's a reaction to the dangers they've just survived. Traveling through the riverlands, they would have encountered a landscape scarred by a century of war, a tapestry of proud but often feuding houses. It's here that Egg's education in diplomacy and conflict resolution truly begins, not in a classroom, but on the muddy roads and in the smoky halls of minor lords. Their northward momentum carries them all the way to the formidable bottleneck of Westeros, the Neck. Imagine trying to navigate this swampy, treacherous land. It's a maze of marshes, quicksand, and lizard lions, inhabited by the elusive Crannock Man. For a tall knight like Dunk and a young boy, this would have been an immense challenge. It's so whirled away from the manicured fields of the Reach or the bustling streets of King's Landing. Surviving the Neck isn't just a physical test. It's a lesson in humility and adaptability, showing them that strength isn't always about swords and armor. After this northern excursion, their trajectory shifts dramatically. The memory of the conflict at Coldmoat seems to pull them back south, towards the Dornish Marches. This region, a perpetual buffer zone between the Reach, the Stormlands, and Dorne, is a land of hardened warriors and constant vigilance. Their journey through this area puts them on a path that resonates with deep historical significance, bringing them closer to echoes of the past that will profoundly shape their future. As they meander back through the Reach, we can pinpoint their movements with more clarity. They aren't just passing through, they are crisscrossing a region dense with history. Their path takes them remarkably close to a site that still casts a long shadow over the Targaryen dynasty, the Redgrass Field. This is where the first Blackfire Rebellion met its bloody end, just a decade or so earlier. Walking this ground, Dunk, who likely heard tales of the battle from Ser Arlen and Egg, whose family was defined by it, would have felt the weight of that conflict. It's not just a field, it's a living monument to civil war. This proximity isn't a coincidence in the narrative. It's a deliberate way of connecting our heroes to the central political struggle of their time. subtly informing Dunk's loyalty and forcing Egg to confront the brutal legacy of his own family's divisions. It's on these roads that Egg's understanding of history transitions from textbook knowledge to a palpable reality. But their journey didn't stop there. The chronicles suggest travels far beyond what we see in the main novellas. Evidence points to them venturing deep into the Stormlands, kingdom of storms and stone, ruled by the fiercely independent Baratheons. This would have exposed them to a completely different culture, one of proud traditions and martial prowess. Imagine Dunk and Egg navigating the tempestuous weather of Shipbreaker Bay or the dense forests of the Rainwood. Then there's speculation, based on geographic plausibility and the sheer amount of time they spent on the road, that they made it as far as the Vale of Arryn. Can you picture Dunk, with his fear of heights, attempting to ascend the giants' lands to the Eyrie? While undocumented, these excursions into the far corners of the realm are essential. They complete the tapestry of Egg's education, giving him first-hand knowledge of every major kingdom, their lords, their lands, and their people, something no Targaryen king had ever possessed. So, what's the grand takeaway from all this map-gazing? Let's overlay their entire known and speculated journey onto a single map of Westeros. Look at it. It's not a straight line. It's a complex, sprawling web that touches nearly every major region. From the fields of the Reach to the swamps of the Neck, from the marches of Dorne to the coasts of the Stormlands. What Dunk and Egg inadvertently created was an unofficial intelligence network. Every lord they met, every village they stayed in, every problem they solved, Dave was all data being fed directly to the future king Aegon V. He wasn't just learning about the small folk. He was learning about the lords, the power structures, the grievances, and the loyalties that held the Seven Kingdoms together or threatened to tear them apart. The legacy of this long road is profound. When Egg finally took the Iron Throne, he wasn't ruling a theoretical map. He was ruling a land he knew intimately, a people he had lived among. The travels of Dunk and Egg weren't just a series of charming adventures. They were the single most important political education a ruler could ever receive, fundamentally shaping the Targaryen dynasty and the future of Westeros itself. Thank you so much for joining me on this cartographic journey across Westeros. If you enjoyed mapping out this epic adventure, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into this amazing world, and let me know in the comments which journey you'd like to trace next. See you then.